Hello, folks. Jim Voss, Aiken, South Carolina. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. We are going to do a fast and furious cover about 4 topics in today's episode of Just My Opinion. I don't understand how they can have Biden's son's laptop for 3 solid years at the FBI, and the FBI won't even confirm they have it, but some of the whistleblowers said yes, it's there. They've never gotten into it, never opened up. It keeps shifting from post to post and protected by the powers that be. And they said if it was made access to, it would be after the general election. My God. If when I was in law enforcement for 40 some odd years, it's kind of like this. That's called obstruction of justice, period. When you have evidence, damning evidence, that you will not turn over or give access to those bodies that are looking for it, for whatever kind of proof or non-proof is in that laptop, then you're charged with obstruction of justice. But what do you do when the head of the FBI and the head of the DOJ are playing hide and seek and tag with this laptop? Either it's damning evidence or there's nothing there. There's no there. So we'll see in the coming days what's supposed. Of course, all the headlines say that the feds are getting ready to jump on them. Now, you have to put up with all my kittens because they're in the man cave today, and you'll see them all the time running in and out of the scene, but that's okay. They're mine. It's not a big thing. I guess the second topic, let me see what I did down for a second. Oh, I had the mispleasure of watching a mock late-term abortion. Now, I believe that in rape, incest, help to the mother, help to the baby, I understand that. First trimester, I think that's acceptable. But to watch the third trimester, the 9th month, when that baby is viable and livable outside of the womb, I watched them take the baby, turn it around, take the feet, pull the feet out, and just as the head is ready to be birthed, they take looks like a pair of sharp scissors. They go straight up into the back of the baby's skull, open it up, put it in a suction machine, and suck the brain out of this infant moments before birth. I'm sorry, folks. I don't give a rat's furry ass about whether or not you think you have the right as a woman or to be consulted by a man to say, yes, we want to get rid of this baby. Planned Parenthood does not mean that you wait until the 9th month to decide you're going to commit, what do they call it? It's not genocide, it's infanticide, I think. Or whether or not you're going to do it within the first trimester, when the baby could not survive outside of the womb. And that's where I stand on that. I'm going to tell you, though, I've seen a lot of people blown up in combat and missing arms and missing limbs and things of that nature, and not much upsets me. But watching this late-term murder, you just don't have the right. It was one of the most gory things that I had ever seen in my life, and I don't believe you have the right. You have the right to talk about your own body, but you don't have the right to make a decision whether or not that baby lives. I had a friend of mine who worked at Savannah River site with me, and he and his wife waited 7 long years to get a baby. Couldn't have any of their own. There are plenty of parents that are begging to adopt. have the baby, put it up for adoption, whatever you want to do. Get someone to be the payee, and you become the surrogate mother. It doesn't make any difference how it's done, and let them adopt. But this infanticide is just plain murder. I mean, I look at it from a law enforcement point of view, and that's the way that I see it. All right, what's next on the agenda? Let's see. We were going to talk about I have preached for the last month for the last year, that we were about to undergo a coup. Well, I was right about the coup, and the coup has happened, and the coup is a roaring success. But it's not the kind of coup that you hear about in Bolivia or South America or one of the third world nations or whatever. It's not that kind of a coup. The coup was never aimed at our finances. The coup was never aimed at our military. The coup was never aimed at anything federally. The coup was aimed at us. We the people. The job of the coup, with the assistance of BLM, Antifa, and Woke, and other left-wing radical organizations such as the government and things like that, they overtook our will to protest. Not for the bad stuff, to protest for our rights. They took away our drive, our fire. They took it away simply by badgering us to death with being all-inclusive. The guys want to play on the girls' team. The girls want to play on the guys' team. Whatever. Hairy old man wants to go into a little girl's bathroom. We're going to make that happen for you. We can adapt. We can bow and kowtow to the 1% of the weirdos, freaks, and other abortions of nature, let's say. But that's the way we are now. We turn. I think that this coup was designed to divert our attention away from what really matters. Okay? Our freedoms. Freedom of speech, freedom to bear arms, freedom from search and seizure. Oh yeah, tell that to Donald Trump. Illegal search and seizures, of our person, our places, and our written papers. Yeah, tell that to Trump. And it was such a success, but you have to, the game of the federal government is smoke and mirrors. It's always been smoke and mirrors. You put up enough of a diversion and you say, okay, I did a podcast on this before. It says, look at this hand, not this hand, because this is what I'm going to screw you with. So you get this diversion. Oh, well, listen, if you have a sex change and you want to swim on the girls' team and you're a boy, you can do that. We're going to be all inclusive. If you want to, you're a big old hairy man wearing a G-string and you want to go into the little girl's bathroom, we're going to make that happen for you. We have laden ourselves with trying to correct morals and mores of our life that have been in place for years and years and years and should still be in place. We took away simple things like keeping score at the ball game for kids. Well, we just want them to go out and play. We don't want anyone to feel bad because they lost 10-0 or whatever. Well, that would indicate that your other team sucked. That's reality. If you give a trophy to every kid for just showing up, what good is the trophy? What achievement does that show? It showed that mom or dad drove you to the ball field and you got a trophy for that. I said in my last podcast, why don't we just go in as a Cub Scout and say, I want to be an Eagle Scout. So give me all of the stuff that I need in order to be an Eagle Scout. Give me all my badges. Just give me the badges. You don't need to make me do anything. I'm just here to collect the badges. Get all the badges and put them on your little swath that they use, or whatever they call it. And bingo. You don't have to earn them. They're just free. We don't want anybody to feel bad because they didn't know how to build a campfire. So that's about the way you become an Eagle Scout. It'll be that way soon. Hang on just a minute. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, I had to take a pause for the cause there and drink me some Diet Coke, which I'm addicted to. So do you see the point that I'm trying to make? You can take anything away from anyone, no matter how precious, if you can just divert their attention to something else that they think is most important. Is it important that we will allow someone to go into the military and we will take $1 million of taxpayers' money and we will provide a sex change operation for that young soldier? Is that right? Let's say that we do 200 a year, $200 million. What would $200 million finance in, let's say, battered women's shelters, helping hands, Goodwill, those kinds of things? What would it buy? It'd buy a lot. Well, we're going to satisfy that 1% that's not happy with being a boy or a girl. We've got to be all-inclusive. What does that matter to you as a human being? If I said, okay, I'll give you this choice. You can lose your freedom of speech, or we won't let this kid get an operation in the military to change sexes. Which would you pick? Of course you would pick to keep your freedom of speech. Well, the coup has happened. There is no platform for conservative speech. Fox's own True. All the other networks are full of lies and propaganda. Lies that they know are lies, but they still keep broadcasting the same old crap. The YouTube that I'm on right now, my channel is heavily censored. That I can't say anything about certain people. I can't say anything about certain organizations. They called me a menace to society when I did it before. So I had to be very careful about who I talk about. And there are other events that you can't mention. You can't even bring them up or make an innuendo because they'll pull you off the air. But for conservatives, unless you are the announcer on talk radio and it is a conservative station, you can do that. But people like me that are in the broadcast world as far as podcasts go, well, you just don't have the ability to get your message out there. I mean, right now I've had a couple of hundred people view my podcast on YouTube, and I've had about as many on Buzzsprout. So it's the ones that are on YouTube are the ones that have been censored, and the ones that are on Buzzsprout, you can't see my handsome face, but you can get all the audio. Buzzsprout doesn't care what you say. They're just the host. And finding distributorship is it's easy to get on YouTube if you're going to show someone how to fix a problem with a tire, or you're going to test out a certain tool or something like that. But as far as being able to broadcast truth about politics or what's going on in the world, well, that's all censored. So you can only say certain things, and they have to be leaning towards the left when you say them. The woke is now attacking the military. Let me tell you something. I spent 25 years in the military. When we had to take a hill, and you knew that some of your people weren't going to come back, you still tried to take the hill. Woke wants to get into the protocol of saying, okay, it's time to take the hill. Wait a minute, let's take a vote. Woke has no place in the military. Woke is pure dissension from what has been standard and true for years and years and years. I'm not talking about things like segregation, things that no. I'm talking about girls going girls' bathrooms and boys going boys' bathrooms, and that's just the way it is. Girls play on girls' soccer team, boys play on boys' soccer teams. That's the way it is. You know, it is not as much the kids as it is the parents. Parents trying to live their lives through their kids and their grandkids. You can't do it. Let them grow up. Let them be what they want to be. They want to play concert piano, fine and dandy. They want to design dresses, fine and dandy. Let them do it. But there are certain sections of society where you need to be one sex or the other. Let me see what was the last thing we were going to do today. We did woke. We did no concern. Okay. I think we've covered everything. I get a lot of likes. In fact, I've never had a dislike on my broadcast. But if you would, put a comment in there and at least subscribe to what we're going to see in the future and what I'm going to do. We're in a battle in court right now, so that's why I can't. I haven't been on the air in a couple of weeks. And then, you know, you get to the point where you fight for what's right, and then you get kicked down and stepped on so many times by the liberal media, by certain social networks, that you just almost give up. I'm not there yet. I gave parts of my body to 2 different wars. I'm almost a fully disabled vet. But I want to do this because I know that there are some people out there that need a voice, and I want to be that voice for you. So if you would subscribe, I would appreciate it greatly. I don't make any money off of this. You know, all I spent was thousands of dollars for equipment, but I don't make any money off of this. I do this because I love the vets. I love America, and I think it's time that we decided that let's pay attention to what is important. Let's pay attention to what's right and what's wrong. No bail for a crime? Come on now. 2 million illegal aliens. Oh, have you heard? I'll close with this. The federal government is going to pay those 2 million illegal aliens $1 billion because we did our job at the border. Can you believe it? We got them out in swank, nice. Oh, the hotels, they said, is not working out. Now, are you ready for this? Here it comes. They're going to rent on a permanent basis some of the cruise liners that are docked. They're going to stay in suites, have a swimming pool, good food, you name it. Hell, I want to become an alien. I may revoke my, renounce my citizenship, and I can hobble a little bit. I don't know, but damn, I understand what the Statue of Liberty says. Give me you're tired, you're poor, you're whatever, you're weak. But it didn't say, come on over here, let me set you up with a whole new life per the taxpayer. But once again, who's raising hell about this? Not the people. I mean, they're killing people in Texas families that live on the border. They're being robbed, mugged, killed, raped, you name it. Who's raising hell? Nobody. It's the ticket for the Democratic Party to ensure that there's never another Republican or conservative in the White House. You wait and see. Jim Voss told you, before 2024, those people, if we don't take back the House and the Senate, those people will have voter registration cards in 2024. And they can run, the Democrats can run Porky Pig and get his ass elected. That's all I'm going to say for today. I know this has been long, 20 minutes is long for a podcast. I'm sorry. But hopefully you can use this instead of me doing a tutorial on how to change a tire or something of that nature. I love you. I mean it. I love America. I love my vets. Most of all, my first responders, my cops, my firemen, you're all in my heart. I do these broadcasts for you. And for the citizen out there who says it doesn't make any difference what Jim says, we've lost. We haven't lost yet. My God, we're close to it. We're close to it. This has got to be a slam dunk in November of this year. Take care. This is Jim Voss signing off from way high, about 8 feet or so, above my garage in Aiken, South Carolina, with just my opinion. Keep looking for me. I love you to death. Bye-bye.